All right, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon on the West Coast, and good evening to everyone in Lagos. My name is Jeff Hall. I'm the founder and president of Go Educate Inc., a nonprofit that is geared to helping students gain exposure so they can go to college and earn scholarships, as well as providing mentorship while they're in college. We're coming together right now with a special guest on this day, a dear friend of mine, Coach Jamar Howard, aka Coach 12. He has an extensive history from being a national recruit coming out of high school back in 2007, then also playing Division I football, FBS football in the United States, and then being able to parlay those opportunities and becoming a professional athlete within the CFL, the NFL, arena football, in addition to just once he hung up his cleats, he stayed close to the game by becoming a coach. I have witnessed firsthand what he has done as far as his initiatives go towards developing young students within the Seattle, Portland area. And I feel he's a very incredible coach and an up and coming coach. And so he has expressed interest as far as building a relationship with many of you all in Lagos. And so we want to give a hand clap for Coach Howard on the day. Thank you so much, Coach Howard, for joining us. But before we start, I want to actually pass this over to Coach Chooks. Coach Chooks, if you can just explain NAFA, the initiatives of NAFA and the collaboration between NAFA and Go Educate, and then we'll go on to Coach Howard. Thank you.
Yeah, Coach Jeff, I appreciate you for what you're doing and creating this avenue to have a lot of our young lads, um, actualizing their dreams as regards football. As about two years ago when we started this whole project, we agreed on a lot of things from having guys having their way to college, to high school, and some majority of them also have the vision of playing in the NFL, which is the elite league. So since we started, we've always had this vision of not just educating, which your organization is about, educating the kids, but also having them meet their potential, as in what they so much aspire to be in life. So NAFA as a body has actually hit into your program, the vision of expanding sports, taking it to the next level as regards football, which has not been really tapped into by majority of sports enthusiasts in Nigeria and in the US. So you thought it was needed that we key into this part where a lot of others have not really keyed into. So NAFA NAFA has always seen the need to have a lot of our youths, develop and get the right skill set which you've offered over time. And our vision and mission is to see that this sport is cut across the third season, including the FCT of the country, which is about 37 states of Nigeria, the six plus the federal capital territory. So you have assisted us in getting to where we are now, and this is just the beginning, and we look forward to seeing that it goes way beyond where we are now. So NAFA started the grassroots program, and we look forward to expand even further beyond where it is now. So once again, I appreciate you guys for what you've done and what we are yet to do. But this a program, this a webinar is another opportunity for guys to understand that there's so much possibilities within that you can get within football, and collaborating with Go Educate and Coach Howard. Coach Howard, I appreciate you for coming on board, for taking your time to be around and educating and enlightening our people. We really appreciate you, and once again, we thank you guys for for partnering with us. And we know this is just the beginning of so many things to come. Thank you so much. We appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Coach Chooks. Thank you so much. And it's been a pleasure for us to collaborate with NAFA and the initiatives that you all are bringing forward. As you stated, it's only the beginning, but however, the future is so bright, with the athletes that you all have there, and then the time that you all just schedule to work with these students, these young people is great. And I want them to see it now. Like right now, it's in its early stages, but this is something amazing that is being launched by Coach Chooks, Coach Lawrence, and the many other board members of NAFA, President Babsy, and everyone else. And so thank you so much. So we'll start now with our guests. So we have
Sorry, Coach. It seems like the Lawrence is around now. So
okay.
I think maybe he has one or two things to say.
Oh yes, Coach Lawrence, are you in?
I just admitted him.
Coach Lawrence, are you in?
Yes. I'm sorry. My phone actually just switched off, so I just plugged it in to charge. So I'm good now. I'm sorry I left.
No, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Coach Lawrence, we just did our introduction. We actually introduced Coach Howard, and Coach Chooks spoke about the initiatives of Go Educate and NAFA. And we saw that you returned, and we want to just give you an opportunity to say something before we actually start speaking with Coach Howard, before we yield the floor to him.
Okay. Good evening, everyone here. We're happy to have this initiative started today. I know we've done similar type of program, if I'm not mistaken. The first one was when we did, when NAFA in collaboration with Go Educate did what we call the officiating section. And in that session, we had one of the coaches from the NFL, retired, I think, from the NFL, Jesse Hall. And the second one was when we had to do examination and award of certificates, which happened with one of the coaches from CFL, a guy from CFL. So today we're having Jamar Howard. So it's a great pleasure, and we're happy we're doing this, and we're going to be bringing you so many additions where you meet so many great people. We'll keep bringing great people on board all the time, and they'll keep impacting into everyone's life positively, in aspect of football. And as you know, the mission of NAFA, that is the Nigeria American Football Association, the mission is to increase opportunities for the African youth through American football. So we are happy we're making a headway. So it's good for everyone that is part of this initiative. So stay tuned. I'm sure of a very great time with Coach Jamar Howard tonight. So let's enjoy it. Thank you for everyone being here. Thank you.
And thank you, Coach. Thank you, Coach. And
that's it.
Okay, thank you. And so we want to take the so we appreciate once again everyone for joining us. And so we're going to start with our special guest, Coach Howard. Coach, as I stated before, you have an extensive history from your experience as a Division I football player, FBS player, your experiences as a national recruit, your experience as a professional, even right now with your initiatives through Big 12 Performance football, in addition to just your career also as a teacher and a high school football coach. And so we want to just pass on all that knowledge, because what it shows us that just your experience within football isn't limited to just the field. So we just want to first just ask you some questions about yourself, Coach. If you can, for any of the students here, can you share your experience on how you got involved in football?
Okay, I started off. So, I played basketball mostly most of my life until my senior year of high school. My senior year of high school was my first year ever playing football. I just actually just fell in love with the game, and I went from being on a full ride scholarship for basketball to just playing for fun and getting about 50 full ride scholarships for football. And I took it serious, and I ended up going to college for football, and that just led me to being able to get a free education, get my degree, but also being able to play professional football once I got, to that level.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Something that you brought up that was really interesting. Many of the students here, they compete in multiple sports, and so you said something. So like you actually, your opportunity in football came during your senior year, so you was around 17, 18 at that time. For
Yes.
many people that says it's too late. What can you say about it? Was it an easy transition going from basketball to football? And for the students here who have competed in basketball and other sports such as soccer, like how does that, do you encourage them to consider playing football as well?
Yes, yes. So I would say soccer is good because you run a lot, your feet work is good, so it's a good transition. But also playing basketball is a good transition too. I'm 6'4" point guard, and it's not a lot of 6'4" receivers that can run. So it was an easy transition. A lot of releases that you do are really basketball moves coming off the line, trying to get away from the DB. It's really all basketball. So it's an easy transition. Other sports will help you, but football is a very good thing to do. You always want to try to play everything because you never know what your ceiling is and what sport. So never limit yourself to one thing.
Okay, thank you, Coach. Another thing, Coach, is we stated that this session is American football opportunities for youth in Nigeria. Before we talk about that, I mean, you mentioned your scholarships that you was offered, but can you go deeper into the opportunities that football offered you? Just like even your foresight to see that once you hung up your cleats, you wanted to be a coach. Was that also was that always a plan or?
It was kind of always a plan. I've had mentors before me that kind of did the same thing I'm doing now, and they kind of gave me an outlook on life and just showed me the way. Like after football, this is what you can do. Football don't last forever, but football do open up a lot of doors for your life. Like I said, football gives you a full ride scholarship to get a free education at a university. You will learn life a lot better. Most of the friends and most of the life that you live is in college, man. You experience things in life in college. You're away, you're by yourself. You gotta, grow up and be responsible. So it teaches you a lot of stuff once you get to college. But I would say football opened up a lot of doors for me. I network with a lot of coaches now, from University of Alabama all the way to D2 school in Missouri. So I talk to a lot of schools, and it just teach you about life, character issues, how to face adversity, all types of things. But it teach you to be a better person because football don't last forever. So once football over, you want to set yourself up to be able to do something great besides football.
Thank you. Like even with that, you're saying it doesn't last forever, and the opportunities you make and the relationships you build. Being a coach, how important are relationships, and how much of a role did that play? How much of a role did American football play with you building these relationships? Like, can you explain the relationships that goes into football and even with the coaches?
Yeah. So right now, I would say building relationships is major. A lot of major college coaches was my coaches in college. So I mean, Coach Brian Kelly was my head coach in college at the University of Cincinnati. Now he's the head coach of Notre Dame. So when I got a player, I can send him to Coach Kelly and be like, "Hey, I got this guy. He gonna trust me because I played for him."
Hey, man.
It's a lot of other coaches I play for that's at these universities that I can just call up and be like, "Hey, I got a guy. Yeah, I want you to take a look on him," and they just trust my word because I played for them. and there's also other players that I play with getting coaching jobs or getting jobs that can, help you network. But I would say, football is kind of like a fraternity in a way, because once you in, you meet so many different people that you can network with, or friends that has other friends that can help you get to where you need to get. So football is great. Any other sports is great, but I feel like football is kind of a bigger thing when it comes to like a fraternity thing.
Right, thank you. And that's something that we definitely want many of you all on this Zoom call to realize as well. Many of you have aspirations of playing ball within the states, and that's great as far as you go. Your talent, once you get in, and your talent to take you as far as you go. But what Coach Howard is saying as well is, even from a professional standpoint, if you don't make it to the highest league, there's still opportunities. And with, like, for instance, the initiatives right now with what Coach Chus and Coach Lawrence and the entire board of NAFRA are doing, you all that's coming over here to play ball, it can be great. You come over here, you get you a scholarship, and let's say, once your football days are complete, you become a coach. Now you have an opportunity to network with the coaches over here, be able to bring light to the many talented students over in Lego. So you all is amongst a group that it doesn't have to just end on the field. It doesn't just have to end on the field. And so, yes, it doesn't just have to end on the field. So we want to, we definitely want you to see that as well, that you coming out, it's great. You're being athletes and your goal is to earn a scholarship, but we want you to also realize that it doesn't just stop there. You all are also representing Nigeria. You're representing the many students that's looking for opportunities, and it doesn't have to stop with you. You can always give back through football. Coach Howard, excuse me. Another question I have before we open the floor to the questions by many of the people in the audience. Something that as you stated, you have these connections with basically all of the schools within the U.S. Something that I want to ask you is, like, for many of these students, they want to know what can they do to get exposure. From working closely with you, I know the kids that you have helped earn scholarships to Ohio State, to Pittsburgh, to Clemson, to USC, all the top dogs, Oregon. And for many of them, it was you working with these students that were talented athletes, but they were raw, and you helped cultivate them into getting to that level where they could earn that scholarship. For the talented student athlete in Nigeria, what do you expect? What do they need to do to prepare themselves to be ready to pretty much attract the schools over here, the big time schools over here?
I would say you got to put in the work. Just like any other athlete that's great that you see on TV, they put in a lot of work. It's not them day, and it's gonna be days where you don't want to get up and you don't want to work out, or you don't want to, go run. But it takes that sacrifice to go work out every single day. All the great athletes, they put in the work. And I would say start young. You want to learn how to be a pro young. Like I said, my son 11 years old, and he can probably tell you everything it is about football because I started him young. So don't feel like it's never too late, but it's better to start young. I would say always just keep in mind too, education comes first. Without education, you can't get in school. Um, and just be humble and trust the process. Everything won't happen overnight. You got to put in the work, and it'll happen.
Okay, thank you. Before we go to the audience, I like to yield the floor to Coach Chooks or Coach Lawrence if you have any questions for Coach Howard. Everyone else, if you have any questions, please post them to the chat. We're going to ask, we feel we can get to as many questions as possible if everyone posts them to the chat, and we'll just read it off to Coach Howard. So if you can, please post your questions to the chat. But Coach Lawrence, Coach Chus, do you have anything to say? Any questions for Coach Howard?
Yes. Thank you, Coach Howard. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I'll just ask my first question, because I know we don't have a lot of time because we have also so many people here. So my question will go like this. We have a lot of positions in American football, And in Nigeria, we are trying to see how we can make a player play multiple positions. On one side, we also have females, like in this Zoom call now, at least we have close to about 6 or 7 females in this Zoom call, females who are really, really interested in playing football, and they'd like to know as well what opportunities they have. And talking about positions that we're trying to make player one player play multiple positions. Can you just help us to like highlight what will make a player better to play multiple positions, and what you think should be the work ethics for such players, and what can make a player outstanding? Of course, hard work. You've actually talked about hard work. That's great. Yeah, hard work hard every single day. Type of work you would recommend to always be done, and how you think the player should check for progress, within himself, all those things. So pretty much around that. If you can just give us some light on that, yeah.
Okay. So I'll start by trying to answer each thing that you said. So, the first question is to the women that's playing and also the men that's playing about position. The best thing for you to do is look up a NFL or college roster, right? So if you got a guy that's 6'2", that's 240, 9 times out of 10, he's gonna be a stand-up defensive end or a linebacker. So I would say look at the heights and weights of what you see on that roster, and then kind of put them and mold them in that position. For the hard work thing is, man, when I played out, when I really was in my prime, I worked out 3 times a day. My nutrition was right. I ate the right food. I made sure I took care of my body. Got massages 2 or 3 times a week. I went to yoga 2 or 3 times a week. It takes a lot to be a pro. It takes a lot to be just an athlete. So it just can't be just put in the work. There's a lot of other things that go into that. So before college, you have education, which can always come first no matter what. So you got school, you got football, nutrition, you got to take care of your body. You got to make sure you always eating the right thing, because you can't work out all day and then you eating bad food all day. So I think them things come into play, and just keeping a focused mind and letting people know, like, this is my dream and nothing's going to take me away from that. So you're going to have good days and you're going to have bad days, but no matter what, you got to put in the work.
Thank you, Coach Howard.
Yeah. Coach Jamar, I
Yes,
really
sir.
appreciate you for taking your time to explain a lot of these things to us. And more blessings to you, bro.
Appreciate it.
My question goes like this. With the lads we have, some are big, some are tall, some are small, some are average. So, but now every one of them, like football doesn't discriminate against size. So some are actually not big, but they're fast. And I know you earlier made mention about the other possibilities that lie within not just football, but maybe doing other sports. I don't know if I got that right. So my question now is, I always give kids hope, like, okay, yeah, you can actually do it. It's not all about size. So what do you will have to say? Is it that
It's not. I mean, it's not all
less
about.
than
It's not.
6 foot? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not always about size, but you got to understand, when you go into universities and you go into these big time colleges, they want size. They want that certain position. So like, Mr. Holler let you know. So the University of Washington, I put instance, they like taller corners. So they like 6'2", 6'3" corners. But University of Florida might like their corners 5'10", 5'11" that can run. It's just all a preference of what the coaches want, and what fits the system.
Okay. I think you just answered my question. So Everyone is useful so long you have
Yeah,
some
yeah, for sure.
supernatural ability.
Yeah, you don't have to be 6'5" and run a 4.3. You can be 5'10" and run a 4.3 and be more effective than the person that's just taller. It's just about what system that person or that player fits in.
Okay, I appreciate that, bro.
No
Thanks.
problem. No problem.
Thank you, Coach Howard. That's another thing. I'm glad you touched upon that. The systems that colleges have plays a major role in how you get recruited. So depending on, a lot of schools that they may run a particular zone coverage and defense. They may prefer the longer, taller defensive backs because they could cover more ground as far as their length goes. Whereas, some schools, height doesn't matter. They want speed. And so that's something to keep in mind with everyone. So even everyone on this call, whatever sport you play is always important, not sport, but whatever position you play, it's always important to see, look up the school you're interested in and see see what type of system they run and see if you would fit into that system, or you can realistically fit into that system. So thank you for answering those questions, Coach Howard. That's a very important point to touch upon. We received a few questions in the chat, and so we're going to touch upon them. We have a question right now that asks for players that are around between the ages of 25 to 28. They would like to know, can they still play? Is it too late for older players? We also have a question there that says for students who are already in college, is it too late for them to play? So this is an age question. So is it too late for them to play, and what opportunities exist, Coach Howard?
It just all depends on skill level and what coaches want. I mean, I know people still playing as 35, so it just really all depends on what if when you perform, would a coach risk that time to be in you, like to bring you in? A lot of NFL guys, they want to get their guys younger. But I mean, the thing is CFL, it's arena football, it's other professional things you can do that can showcase your talent to work to help you get to the NFL. So it just really all depends.
Right. Thank you, Coach Howard. We have another question that was asking if there's going to be a physical meeting or is always going to be online. We're in the works of coordinating with Coach Troops and Coach Lawrence a camp later towards the end of this year. So we don't always plan to be remote. So we're in the works for that as well. We have gone over to another question. One of the attendees actually stated that they have a kid that's 12 years old and he's 6'2". What's his hope for playing?
I wish he could come right now.
Okay. Well, Coach Howard, you could delve a little bit deeper. Like with a kid that tall and that young, what type of preparation should adults just be giving them?
Just keeping them focused, really pushing him to be great at a young age. A lot of kids that age, you're a kid still. So, you still want to be a kid, but put in their mind, you can still be a kid. But when it comes to putting in the work, you have to really think like I'm an adult. Like this is where I need to be. This is my dream, So I would say on that, at that age, he can still work out twice a day and still be able to be a kid. You don't never want to keep a kid from working out all day and still not him playing video games or him not being able to be around friends. But a morning workout and then a little break and then the afternoon workout, and then he's done for the day, and then he can just work on schoolwork, hang out with his friends, but I mean, with that big, you don't know how big he's gonna get. So that's tough. I mean, I would just say just work on the tools that you think he's great at and try to perfect it, and then also work on the things that he's not good at and try to perfect that too, and just see what the overall outcome will be.
Right. Thank you. Yeah, that's 6'2", he may be 7 feet, and
you never know.
We're having a different conversation. Thank you, Coach Howard. We have another question, and it's in regards to women playing football. And so This person asks if there are any opportunities for women who are or women or girls who are around the age of 13, like what opportunities exist. And if you can, Coach Howard, just even saying like from your experience, what roles would you for a young lady as far as to break into football? What can they start exploring at a young age and say, this is what I pretty much want a career in?
Yeah. So I mean, I know in the U.S. right now they have like arena football teams for women. Not necessarily much as like NFL or tackle, but they do have like little leagues, but it's nothing like super crazy. But the one thing I can say is learn the game of football because now they're hiring women coaches in colleges and the NFL. They're hiring women coaches to be able to teach because they know the game. So I would say just venture out into everything in football and see where it can lead to. But playing the game is knowledge. So you're playing the game so you know the game. And then just taking that knowledge as you know and just taking it further.
Thank you, Coach. And that's huge right there. Right now, that's something that they definitely want. They want more representation of women. This is actually huge for the young ladies that's actually on this call right now. Not only that, you fit many boxes. You're able to tap into an international demographic. You're also being from Africa or being from Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria. You also identify as being Black, and on top of that, you're a woman. So there's many check marks that you have there. But as Coach Howard said, like learn the game. It can be really powerful in that sense. There's coaching opportunities. There's being you could be a broadcaster. You can be a sideline reporter. It's so much. You could be a writer. There's so much things. There's marketing as well. And then also there's officiating. There's many opportunities there.
Yeah.
It just stems from learning the game. So thank you, Coach.
Yeah. I think it'll be so important for you to be able to, if you're like an analyst or something like that, but if you really know the game, it's just gonna come off so well. Everybody will want you to be on a TV channel because they know you know the game. You have experience from playing the game. It's just you can go a long way with it.
Thank you, Coach Howard. We have another question that asks in relation to that. How can they pursue? They would like to know what steps does it take to pursue a career as a coach or scout from Nigeria. So let's talk about just the steps that you're familiar with as far as just getting into coaching. Those steps as well.
So I would say right now, what's everything going on with NAFA is basically how we start over here. Like before I made it to this point right now, I had coaches who believed in me like you guys. And, once they kind of got a little older, I felt like it was my passion and I should be entering a place and I should be doing the things that they do. So I feel like that's how I went, but also just me playing the game, learning so much from great coaches. I just felt like I had so much knowledge to give away and give back to the youth. So I feel like that was like the perfect thing for me to do was coaching. I could have did anything else because I had a degree, but I feel like giving my knowledge to the youth for football was the best thing for me to do. And I love it. It's something I can wake up every day and I can be like, oh, I want to do this.
Thank you, Coach Howard. Yes, and so like as Coach stated, a degree he could have went in any other profession if he wanted to. I mean, with what he's doing, I can say for myself, we may be having a different conversation with Coach. It's up to him in like 3 years. A university may pluck him up to be a part of their staff. It's up. Like he may be modest on this front, but I actually see that trajectory if he wants to take that route. And that's because he's still going back to education. He has his degrees. So if you're into coaching, that's another thing that football can definitely offer you that opportunity, just working in close proximity with these coaches, whether they're your teammates at that time or if they're your former coach at that time, you already have the ends. And there's a lot of students over here that were student athletes and they decided to go into coaching once they stopped playing. So right now, like I said, being in Lagos is different. However, it's a lot of opportunity there because there's always ideas for expanding the game of football. So if you want to go into coaching, you're able to come over here, you're able to get your degree or college degree. Those are opportunities that will open up for you, whether it's on a high school level or collegiate level or professional level. I see a question here and I think I can help you out with that, Coach. Just it's the person asks, is it possible for a 5'9" linebacker? I mean, is it possible for someone to be 5'9" and play linebacker or defensive end? That's what they would like to know.
I would say more so linebacker to defensive end or safety. I mean, like I said, you can play it. It just all depends age, all depends what system you in. It just has other things and variables that take place. You know what I'm saying? So, but for that height, if you're 17 and you're 5'9", you might want to play a DB or like an outside linebacker. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, Coach. Let's see. We're just going through the questions. Going back to weight, there's a lot of students that just want to know, like, what are they best fit? And this particular student, Daniel, asked a question. What is the average height and weight for someone that wants to play nose guard?
That's tough. It's all depends system. Like Warren Sapp, one of the best D tackles in the in the world, in the NFL. I don't think he's that tall. Devron Pope, he's only 6 foot. Aaron Donald, another one. He's not tall. He's only 6 foot, 6'1", but he's one of the best. There's some nose tackles that's 6 foot, 5'11", maybe. And some nose tackles that's 6'4", 6'5". It just all depends what system best fits you. When a coach see you, he gonna look at your measurables. He gonna see what you can do on and off the field, but he gonna see what do you do that can fit his program, and that's just how it goes.
Okay. But there are some weight requirements for that as well to play nose tackle, though.
Yeah. I mean, I would say most nose tackles in college like 280 to about 300, 310. I mean, on a professional level, maybe like at a University of Alabama or Clemson, that size. I mean, but at smaller schools, you just never know. You might go in the system where they want to use speed, so they might use somebody that's only like 260, but they just want speed. Yeah. So it really just all depends on the system that you're in.
Yes. So for everyone, what Coach was saying, as far as the weight goes, like at the bigger schools, they may look for someone that's 125 kg to 150 kilograms. So like is usually big for that position. But as he stated, depending on different colleges, because there are different levels. And we didn't touch upon that, but there's different levels within college football. We have the highest level, which is FBS Division I. We have FCS Division II, Division 1 AA, former Division 1 AA. We have Division II, Division III, NAIA. We have JUCO, which are two different bodies. And so it depends on which level you play on. So we're going to the next question. All right, someone wants to know what the likelihood of a 22-year-old of being a freshman and playing college football.
It's very likely you can do it. You might not be able. I don't know the standards and the requirements for being at a D1 school, but I know D2, D3, NAIA, you can definitely do it for sure.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
I'm quite sure you can do it in D1 too, because a lot of baseball players they go play Major League Baseball, and then they come back and they play, and some of them be like 23, 24. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Coach. We're before we leave, we're actually gonna ask Coach Howard to actually share his Twitter handle, his Instagram handle, and for many of you all that are interested, please check him out. He posts daily some of the drills, wide receiver drills, on his social media platforms. Please check them out. If you have any questions, please reach out to him. Also, before we get to that part, we actually have the president of NAFA that's here. Babsy, I would like to, give you the floor right now. Introduce yourself to the many people here that I'm pretty sure they know you, but introduce yourself to Coach Howard as well.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. Good evening, guys. My name is Dapse, but yes, so the Nigerians here. My name is Babajide. I'm the president of NAFA. And Coach Howard, thanks a lot for coming on. I'm sorry
No
I've
problem.
not been available, but I know Lawrence has been really on top of things. So thank you for coming on, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to learn a lot more about the sport. Because I didn't play professionally, but I used to do a lot of flag, and I'm more of a DB, wide receiver position. And it's a sport that I love, and we're doing whatever we can, everything we possibly can to make it a sport that Nigerians get to love too. So thank you for helping us
Yes, sir.
achieve that goal.
No problem.
Right. Thank you.
Hey Jeff, I mean, I forgot to mention Jeff. Thanks once again for constantly supporting us. Again, your dedication to NAFA is legendary. We owe you so much. So thank you once again.
All right, no problem. Anytime. I really appreciate the work that you all are doing there, and I consider it a blessing to be able to connect with everyone. So thank you for working with me and allowing me to be a part of your plans. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. So we're actually gonna conclude, our session right now. However, before we leave, for many people, if we didn't get to your questions, please feel free to reach out to myself. You can please reach out to Coach Howard as well. Coach, if you don't mind, can you please list your Instagram and your Twitter handle within the chat?
Yes. Here you go. Put it in the chat right now. So my Twitter and my Instagram is all the same. So they're both the same. So you don't have to worry about trying to figure out what the next thing is. But like Mr. Hall said, I post all the time. I post workouts all the time. What I really want to do, if you guys are cool with this, I can set something online to where maybe we can have sessions to where I'm training you guys online. We can do something like that to kind of help, speed up the process too as well. I wouldn't mind doing that as well. So I think me and Mr. Hall can probably talk about some stuff like that.
Right. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Coach Howard. Also, I see many familiar faces on the Zoom right now. Keep in mind, Coach Howard he actually saw some of y'all videos. He liked.
Yeah, I know two people. I think the tall kid that play receiver, and then it's a fast one, two linemen that I haven't seen too many. It's about 4 or 5 of you guys I've seen that I know. If it was any possible way we can get y'all over here, y'all would dominate. Y'all would be really, really, really good. So I would just say keep working. Don't let nothing discourage you. I know Mr. Hall is working his butt off to try to find a way to, get you guys over here so we can, give y'all guys the opportunity and help y'all fulfill y'all dreams. So, man, we're gonna just keep working on it.
Thank you, Coach Howard. Yeah, and he was Coach was referring to Udo and Cheetah right there. Those are two he was really pointing out. But we have, as he stated, as many talented kids on this front that we're really working to get over here. We see George there, Udo, Godson, Divine, is so many of you all, Nicholas, is so many of you all, and we're working to get you over here. Coach Howard, he's on this call because he wants to be a resource for you all as well. And he believes in your ability. So please reach out to us. Coach just posted his Twitter handle and his Instagram. I just posted my Twitter at Jeff Big Dreamer H. Please reach out to us if you have any questions. If you had a question and we didn't get to it today, we apologize, but reach out to us and we'll answer it on our social media platforms as well. But thank you for your time, everyone. I want to yield the floor back over to Coach Chooks and Coach Lawrence, if you have anything to say.